All right, welcome everyone. I am the prompt wizard, and today we will be going over Deforum videos. I'm just adjusting some volume real fast. Okay. So first, let's talk about what Deforum is. So Deforum is a plugin. Hey there. How much? How much size? Um, Deforum is a plugin for Stable Diffusion that allows you to make some very interesting morphing type of videos. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is when you open Stable Diffusion, you want to go to Extensions. Okay, and we're going to go to Available and Load. And then in the search, you'll type Deforum, and it won't even take the whole word. Now I have it installed already, so it won't appear there, in the list for me. Where is it here? Here it is. Okay. And here's the GitHub page for it. Okay. And it talks about how to install it, but you can just install it from the Stable Diffusion thing. So you go to Available, and you search for Deforum, and then you hit Install, and then when you restart your Stable Diffusion installation. When you hit Apply and Restart, a lot of times things don't work right, so I always just completely restart the Stable Diffusion program. So then you will have a tab that says Diffusion. Deforum, I mean. Okay, so let's look for a moment at some of the capabilities
quick to depart. I'm angry at the illusion of joy that I see in the sky. Clouds like teeth, all smiles, sun bright, lights out, shine drifted, welcoming the night sky, inner demons controlling every inch of my mind. Confined to my room while darkness leaves me blind. I hate when the sun sets because I live when the sun rises.
So as you can see, you can get very creative with this plugin. And as a matter of fact, okay, as our last one, I'll show you the beginning of. I'm actually a teacher in real life, a music teacher, and one of my students that I taught from when she was 5, she's now in her 20s and a music producer. And this is one of her songs that I did a video to. Here we go.
Can you see me? Do you remember the day we met? So far apart, but you left in the end. I'm trying to believe that this was never true. I'm trying to
Yes, this was actually made with a number of spliced together 10-second Deforum videos for each scene. So this is actually not one Deforum video, but lots of small videos. Some of them are the same video, like a car scene in reverse.
You were right there. It's like you see right through me.
And so on and so on. So you can see the plugin can actually do quite a bit. So let's talk about the plugin and the different settings. Okay, so we go to Deforum. Okay, and first thing we have on our Run tab here. Okay, is going to be what kind of sampler and steps and everything. So for me, I usually at this time I'm using this one for a lot of things, and I'm going to go 30 steps. That's what I usually use. I'm not going to have no, we'll have a little more randomness. I'll leave the seed random, and for sake of quickness on the stream, I'll leave the size at 512. Although I very often make them at 1024, so that when upscaled it becomes 4K. So this one we're going to call. Here's where we can name our folder. I'm going to call this one Deforum. How much size? Do you have a suggestion on a topic for our Deforum video? If you come up with one or you have something interesting you'd like to see, let me know. At the moment, I was going to run through dinosaurs. Sure, we'll do dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. Okay, so Deforum Dino. What that's going to do is that's going to make a folder in my output area that's going to have that so that it's... it won't be complicated. So I got some ideas already. So it'll form in there. So, okay, so then we go to keyframes. Okay, so keyframes has a lot of information. Okay, and this is where we decide when the video will have changes. Okay, so first of all, you can either have 2D or 3D or interpolation. So I usually do 2D or 3D. 3D is actually just allows you to move around things instead of just in directions. And interpolation is more of a morphing thing, so we're not going to worry about that too much today. There's only so much I can show in one session. Border mode controls whether or not things wrap around the side. I don't really mess with that. Now, cadence is important. Cadence is how many frames will be the same. So like if I'm getting a little bit of not so smooth, I might go up to cadence 3. So now 3 frames will be the same. So if I'm doing 30 frames a second, then it'll have, you know what I mean? Like if you have an extra frame, it'll take a little longer to switch. Okay, so I'm going to say let's do we'll do 5 dinosaurs, and we'll do 15 frames a second, 45, 90, 180. So let's just do 270 to 270 frames. Okay, so let's talk about what some of these things are. Okay, so notice here I have a number, and this is my keyframe. And then what it's telling me is at that keyframe, I'm going to change my strength value to 0.65. Strength is how much of a change it will make. If you want it to change a lot, then you put it very low. If you want it to stay very similar, you keep it high. Between 0.6 and 0.7 I find is a sweet spot. So I'm just going to leave that, for simplicity's sake, at 0.6 the whole time. Okay? So down here we have, in 3D, yes, we have the motions. Let's do 2D first just to make it so people can see. Okay, because this has an important setting actually. Okay, there it is. Okay, I was wondering where all that stuff was. So for zoom, what's important to remember is that 1 means I'm not moving. 1.1 means I'm moving in quickly, or not quickly, I'm moving in a little bit. 0.9 means I'm moving out a little tiny bit. So I like to put this for a simple video at 1.005, which basically means I'm barely moving in. Okay, so since I'm going to be doing this video in 45 keyframe segments, 3 seconds at 15 frames a second. So I'm going to say that I'm going to put a comma. Let's put this at 0 so we're not moving at first. So now at frame 45, I'm going to move to, on the x-axis, slowly. And then at 90, I will stop. So that's how that would look. At 0, I'm not moving. At 45, I'm moving to that way in the x-axis. And then at 90, I'm back to 0. Then at 135, I'll go minus 0.5. And now that'll move the opposite direction. And then at 180, I'll go back to 0. And then over here, at 180, so at 225, I will go, I'll start moving up. Okay, now you can get very articulate with your movements, and in fact in some videos you'll see there's quite a bit of combination movements going on. This is just a simple example, as simple as this program could be, and I need to put this back. Let's do 225, and then let's do like at 240, back to not moving. Okay. So you can also at any time change your CFG, okay, or your clip skip. You can change your seed. So at a particular, this is how many frames per seed that you're sticking to that seed. So there's a lot of tricks you can do with changing seed, subseeds. You can change the number of steps, or the sampler, or even the checkpoint at different keyframes, okay, to change your video. So you can actually do quite a bit I'm just doing a little bit of movement here. Okay. There's also settings for noise, coherence, anti-blur. I haven't really used many of these myself, but there's quite a bit that you could get into with this program. All right, so let's look at prompts next. Okay, so prompts are where we're going to determine our video. So when I do a thing of prompts here, the first thing I do, okay, is I take this, I copy it, okay. So we got 0, and we're going to do 45, 90, what was it, 135, 180, what was it, 225? Did they do that right over here? Run keyframes, 225. Yes. Where was I? Prompts. 225, and then we'll do one more at 240 just for something a little different. Okay, so what this represents is what your prompt will be for that particular set of keyframes. So let's say, let's generate a basic prompt that we're going to then change for each of the ones. So a let's do a close up. A close up graphic novel illustration okay a velociraptor eating a meal. And then let's say intricate, detailed, highly detailed scales. What is the eye called with the slit? Reptilian eye. Okay. And then let's put in the style of, I like Louis Royo. And let's hold on. Let's grab characters. Let's try a different style. Okay. Did I spell Velociraptor right on the correct? Oh, yeah, great. Okay. So then I'll take this copy and I'll go ahead and I'll put this in here. It is a bit time consuming at first to make the video, but once you've got it, it can be very rewarding when it comes out. And so now I will just change one part. So let's say a Tyrannosaurus looking at the camera snarling. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay. A Diplodon sunning itself, large fin. Kind of Diplodon. No, what's that one type of dinosaur? Dinosaur with fin. Dimetrodon. Okay, sorry. And Ankylosaurus eating a bushy plant. Let's see. How about a what's the flying one called? Flying dinosaur. Pterodactyl. Copy. There we go. That nonsense. And the last one will be this will be the climax, a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Triceratops in a battle. And then I forgot to put it in the background. Let's put in jungle in the background. Okay, and so I'm going to actually put that. It's going to go here, 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 here. Here and here. So here I have these positive and negative prompts right here. This applies to the whole every prompt. So for every prompt, I'll have not suitable for work and nude as negative to keep that out of there. This last one, this is just a JSON file, so that gets no comma. So init is when you want to start with an image. I'm not going to get into that today. And control net as well. I have to do some reviewing on that. That can get pretty complicated. Output. So 15 frames a second. I'm going to add a soundtrack in another program. I do want to upscale. I'm going to upscale as anime. Let's just do regular. Keep images. This looks okay. So then I just do a quick review. Make sure there's not any mistakes. It'll tell you if it can't do it. Okay, so then I'll hit generate, and let's see if there's any mistakes. Nope. Looks like it's going to go. Okay, and over here you can see it beginning to animate. So this will take 4 minutes, maybe a little longer, to run down to fully render everything. And I don't know how much size, if you're still there, if you have any questions about Deforum. I'm not really sure what else I could explain at the moment without disturbing it. It is quick for smaller videos. It just depends. Probably the upscaling will take another 2 to 3 minutes. But one video I made for my Dungeons and Dragons players was 8 minutes. And that video actually did take a few days to make little sections because, you know, this video will probably only be, what's 270 times, under 1 minute. But it is generating the keyframes pretty quick. Surprisingly quick. Let's see, where are we here? So it looks like it may have needed more time between the types of dinosaurs, and I'm not sure that it is getting all of the types of dinosaurs. I will show a trick for that once we see this video. Since it's quick, we can run it again, and I'll show you the trick. I'm using a 3070 Ti 8GB card for reference for its speed. We begin to set up the other thing. So sometimes when you want it to switch a lot between something, what I can do is I can go 45, right? And then I'll change the strength to 0.3, which means it'll really shift a lot, right? And so then I'll go keyframe 48 back to 0.6 to get it back to stabilize. So for a moment, it'll give it a second to really change. In fact, maybe I'll even go 51, give it more of that, right? And then I might copy this and go, okay, well, so then this one was 90, and this will be 96. And then this is 135, and this will be 141, and this would be 180. This would be 186, and this will be 225, 231, 240, 0.3, and then 246. And what this would do is that at this keyframe, it'll allow a much bigger change. And then at this keyframe, it'll go back to sticking to the picture. So it says it is now upscaling. So we'll give it a second before I play that. I think here you can even see before it's upscaled, you can even see the original, the low res version, 17 seconds. Now, it looks like Stable Diffusion does not know exactly what certain dinosaurs look like. So as you can see, it didn't really change the dinosaurs too much. Okay, but you know what? Let's run it again. Oh, it's still upscaling. So 1 second. No, each keyframe will morph a tiny bit, and your strength will determine how much it actually morphs. Every subsequent frame will morph slightly from the previous one if the strength is high, or morph a lot from the previous one if the strength is low. Your prompts tell it what to do for each of the keyframes. So if you notice here in prompts, right? So at 45, it changed to a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So at 45, I had it make it so it could alter it a lot for a moment and then go back. But dinosaurs, that was a interesting one. But yes, it was not able to identify by name all of those cool dinosaurs, unfortunately. It's still upscaling. Check it out in 4K in a moment if it ever finishes. Sounds good. All right, so here, let's do a bear eating honey from a tree. We'll get rid of reptilian eye. And we'll put forest in the background. So then we'll have, instead of a bear eating honey, we'll have a deer staring at the camera. Forest clearing in the background. So then here we'll have a tiger stalking its prey. And here, and then this will be a savanna in the background. And here we'll have a bald eagle soaring over a forest. Get rid of reptilian eye. Forest in the background, and then we'll have a cute puppy sitting looking at the camera. Cute, fluffy. A hippo bathing in a lake. African savanna watering hole in the background. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to do 2. And I'm going to kick this up to, get rid of this. I'm going to kick this up to 400. And then let's put this at 50, 100. Make these last a little longer. 150, 200. This is going to be, let's put this at 175, and this will be 200. Okay. And then what was the other one thing I wanted to do? Oh, output. Let's go like 10 frames a second. Okay, so here's the upscaled video that we did earlier. Here you can see the upscaled. Hold on. I guess that's just a picture. Okay. I'll click here after show the video, right? I believe this is the 4K video. Okay, so let's see what it does with the animals. 10, that looks like that should be, did I change the prompts? No, hold on. Let's go 50. 100. 150. 200. 250. And so then we want to make this will be 300. There we go. Boom. Let's see what happens. This one will probably be, oh shit. Okay, oops. Yeah, we don't want highly detailed scales on our hippo. Highly detailed scales for reptilian eye. Good catch there. double check that. Okay, so see, it's recalculating 7 minutes. I think it's funny that it made the bear a little more human. Now, of course, as you would go, you would tweak these prompts. This is, just very quickly, but, if you had something extremely detailed, like when I did the video of Dante's Inferno, each prompt was extremely long and complicated with a number of keywords to get everything in there. So the scene where gold pieces were falling all over, I had gold pieces, gold coins, wealth, greed. I had a number of words in there. So our bear here even has clothing. All right, so now I think it's changing into the deer. Let's see what happens. Part of the fun of Deforum too is sometimes just seeing what comes out. Once it made the person, unless I had that special little trick I removed, it'll have trouble changing out of that person into someone else. But we'll see how it goes. I believe that the new introduction for Secret Wars or Secret Invasion or some Marvel show actually used Deforum. And of course, there was quite a AI, Yeah, it looks like it coming out right this time. There was a lot of controversy with the introduction to Secret Invasion. I mean, it's about doppelgangers and morphing. It sounds like Deforum was the perfect thing to use for the intro. But I guess that we have with this particular Deforum, we're going to have a anthropomorphized version of each animal that seems to want to deliver us a package or something. I don't know what's going on. We'll see. I probably should have done my trick for changing between the things. Well, I really don't know why the man was turning into an eagle and coming out with a gun. Let's try this. Let's interrupt this for a minute. And let's do one thing here. Okay. 50. This is going to be 0.2. 55. 0.6. Whoops. 0.6. So it's going to let it for a moment at 50 to really change. So then we'll go like this, copy, paste, 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 paste. So 55, so 100, 105, 150, 155, 200, 205, 250, 255. That's right. All right, let's see if that fixes that problem. Oh, it is upscaling, so it'll need a moment to come back. It does look a little like Jeff Bezos with a gun. I believe his gun will probably fire bald eagle bullets, right? So it's hold on here. It's just upscaling what it had made. It'll just need a second to finish that. Sometimes with Deforum, when you cancel a generation and you're doing upscaling, it still tries to upscale, and so that's what it's doing right now. It's upscaling that little part, so I just need to wait for it to finish so I don't have to restart Stable Diffusion. It's almost done. Okay, so it's now stitching the video together, so that's all done, and we'll get to check out with that funny So once it got stuck on the body of a person, it looks like it couldn't shift off, and then we got all, I guess, Bald Eagle and America go together. All right, so let's try this one more time. Okay, 1 second. I did something on my prompts wrong. Something somewhere over here. Go. Right there. Oops. Notice that if any of your settings are incorrect, it won't start. There it goes. All right, so let's see if this time it comes out a little better with that trick that it will blur everything for a moment. Looks like we're starting with a bear, so at least we're not starting with a person this time. Is it putting a jacket on him? I guess for my negative prompt, I should put jacket, clothing, you know, and things like that if I was going to try it again to, you know, make it even better. But we'll see what happens. This will be our last one with the animals here. We'll see how it works out. Weird. Okay, someone eating dinner with the bear. Sure is making a lot of different pictures. I wonder if I have my scheduling right. 50, 100. Yep, I think so. No problem. It was nice of you to join us. And of course, all of my streams are always available on my YouTube channel. And, you know, they're for educational purposes. So, you know, you can always go back and get what you need out of the video. So it's nice having you. So my next stream that I'll be doing probably tomorrow, but we'll see, is going to be on basic stable diffusion installation. I've actually, in the private lessons I give on stable diffusion, as well as some of the seminars and other things, it seems like one of the main problems people have with stable diffusion is just getting it installed. So I'll go over that and how to install extensions, models, and upscalers and whatnot. Let me see, is there anything else I can explain without messing this up? I think I explained all of the things over here. Remember, this is your sampler, the size, seed, what happens with each of your keyframes. You know, things like noise, okay, or coherence, I haven't really used those. This could be interesting settings for you to try. Anti-blur and field of view. So that's only for 3D motion animation. I've pretty much shown you the whole prompts thing. We got a little dog forming there. Okay, so a knit. A knit's a very interesting thing. So sometimes you'll see in the video someone's like moving and then and it turns into another movement thing. So what you can do is online you can load up, usually in Discord is where I put it in and get my link, and that will be my last frame in a video. So let's say I have a video of me walking my dog, and then in the last second I want it to turn into the border collie explodes into other border collies. So I would take that video and I would divide it into its frames, then take the last video and have it be the initial start image. And this is the strength of how it sticks to the image at first. So under output, you know, we're using the upscale, this type of upscaler here, upscale factor. You can make a GIF. I don't know why anyone would want to really just make like a little GIF. I guess you could. There's some other options. I obviously can't go into all of them, partially because I don't have the time, but also because I'm not 100%. These seem to be changing quite a bit. Video to depth, frames to video, so there are lots of things that you can actually do here. This is just a very basic video on what to do here. We got 30 seconds left on this. Okay, so although it's upscaling, let's look at the smaller video. Here we go. So I needed to cut down that variation time where it switches around a little bit, but you can see how effective it was in getting it to a new scene. Probably one keyframe would have been plenty because you can see it immediately changes. So there you go. All right, so that is the basic instructional video on Deforum and its most basic functions. There's a lot of other advanced functions and other tutorials out there, and So I hope that gives you some pointers and some starting point where you can go ahead and get into making some of these cool videos. Okay? I'm the Prompt Wizard, and I will see you again soon with some more exciting videos on how to use different extensions and on some funny pictures, topics for pictures. All right? Have a good night, everyone.